very welcome back. Now, a new Irish film comes to cinemas this weekend and there's a lot of buzz around it, including winning the Audience Award at the prestigious London Film Festival, no less. Wow.
Very fancy is this film. Joining us now from the cast of Four Mothers is one of its stars, Rory O'Neill, along with director and co-writer Darren Thornton. Good morning to you both. Lovely to have you here. We're going to take a sneak peek of Four Mothers.
They've asked me to go over there for a book tour.
Are you going to do it?
What? How can I?
Okay.
But who am I supposed to leave Mam with for 2 weeks?
Well, I can think of a number of people. 2 weeks is nothing.
2 weeks is not nothing for an 81-year-old woman recovering from a stroke. I can't just dump her with anyone.
Well, you
No,
could-
I don't say residential care.
Fine. I'm not going to argue with you about that again.
Oh, good.
Look, Edward, I know how difficult it is to be in a codependent relationship with a demanding woman. I mean, when I think about my situation with Audrey and all of this stuff...
Oh my God. Are you actually going to try and segue into that again? Yeah, it's not the same thing. I came out when I was 17.
I am simply trying to draw a parallel between you avoiding your destiny as an artist, and me avoiding my destiny as an gay man.
Oh, God.
It's the oh God. Good morning, gents. How are you?
Good, thank you.
You like looking at yourself there, Rory, do you?
No, well, I was just laughing at my COVID poundage that I had then, because I was shot just after the after the lockdowns and all of that. Yeah.
We were just discussing that. It's crazy that it's taken so long. You're having to wait for so long. But Darren, tell us a little bit more about Four Mothers.
Well, it's a story of a mother and son. The mother, Alma, played by the great Fionnuala Flanagan, and the son, played by Scottish actor James McArdle. And Alma is recovering from a stroke and is reliant on a voice app to communicate and has lost some of her mobility. And Edward is sort of at home living with her, and he is her full-time carer. And then early in the story, the house is sort of invaded by 3 other older women who are dumped on Edward when his best friends, who are also carers for their mums, head off to a pride festival in Maspalomas. And from there, there's a sort of extended weekend where Edward is sort of trapped in this very, very small house with these 4 very demanding older women.
Yes, with strong personalities. One of the dumpers is you, Rory. You dump your mother. How could you?
A little hard.
You dump your mother from this. In this, you're playing hey, you're not being stereotyped. You're a closeted gay man.
I'm recently out.
Right.
Terrible therapist.
Having spent 50 years being closeted.
Yeah.
So a bit against type for you.
Yeah, well, I tell you this, and one of my favourite things about when we were making the movie was they got a wife and kids for me, and we did those cheesy studio pictures, in your matching jeans and white shirts and all of that. But then they never actually made it into the movie, the pictures, and I feel bad for those poor kids who waited for 3 years to see themselves on the big screen, and then
The power of the edit. Desperate, isn't it? But it is a serious topic as well around carers and older carers. And I know you wrote this with your brother Colin, because you both were carers to your mum Trish, and she had MND as well. Was it difficult writing it with your brother, or was it almost therapeutic and great to look back on that?
Yeah, it was definitely therapeutic. I think when it started when we were promoting, just about to start promoting our first film, A Day for Mad Mary, and at the same time that we were doing the promotion for that film, Mum got sick, and so we were spending a lot more time at home with her. So a lot of the stuff that's in the film, where Edward is trying to promote his book and he's doing radio interviews while also trying to help Alma, get to the bathroom and stuff like that, is based on experience that we had with our own mum. So yeah, definitely, I think after we lost her and stuff, we found ourselves blocked with a lot of other scripts, and we felt that we just really wanted to talk about her with each other and stuff. So being able to write Four Mothers was the perfect way to do that.
And I have to say, it's so beautiful what of your mother comes across. Like you mentioned there, the great Fionnuala Flanagan is your mother in it, and she's lost her voice, and she communicates with an iPad, with the robot voice, which is something that your mum had to do. So how did Fionnuala Flanagan find it? How did your mum find it?
Oh, it was very frustrating for Mam. And in a way, one of the first things that we came up with was the idea that the iPad would be central to the story, because it was quite painful for all of us, and obviously particularly for Mum having to deal with that. So just writing it into the script became an act of revenge for us, and using it for comedic purposes became really gratifying. But Fionnuala, hated it. like understandably did not like it. Fionnuala's a great talker as well and loves to, you know, the voice is one of the most important tools for an actor. So when you take that away, it's really, really frustrating. So I think her frustration with the device the whole way through filming became sort of grist for the mill in terms of making the film.
Was type because she had a bit of trouble with the whole typing and keeping up to time as well?
Yeah, I mean, we would have to do the sort of, you know, use the voice app live when we were filming. Right. So, you know, obviously these devices freeze, they jam, so you'd be in the middle of a scene and then you would just kind of have this tap in and then Fionnuala would, you know, go wild with this thing and throw it across the room. And we'd be like, okay, yeah, we have to fix it and step in. And
again.
We're not sponsored by Apple, Fionnuala. Stop breaking the iPad. She can devastate with the look. It's incredible. Like, we all know our mother's looks, that when they're disappointed in you and everything. She's phenomenal in it. Yeah. But not being able to use her voice on set. She did offset, Rory, did she? Telling great stories.
I know you're not getting in trouble. Fionnuala is a really fun person to hang out with, and has, like, I mean, she's been in Hollywood since, I don't know, the 60s or something. You know, she lived had a house in the Hollywood Hills until very recently. Like, the story she has to tell you while you're sitting there between takes or whatever are really amazing. Fabulous. Like, with every
movie stars from the 70s, 60s.
Pops up in her stories. It's incredible. Yeah.
I'd say you have a fair few stories yourself, though. But this is
what is implying, Tommy?
This is it's your debut movie, though. Like, what an opportunity for you.
It's my debut movie where I'm playing a boy.
Yes.
Oh, I do quite a, I've done a fair few tiny, small things, you know, in drag roles.
Okay, yeah.
So it was fun. Actually, this summer, at the film festival, I was in a short film as well as a boy. So this is a kind of a new little experience for me.
Enjoying it?
Well, it's an awful lot less work than having to get into drag.
Imagine.
You know, you just rock up and somebody rubs a brush across your face and you're done.
Like, literally, you're cosplaying as Chino's dad.
Yeah, no, I am. Yeah.
Do you know?
And yeah, it's fun.
And your character is a therapist who's using who uses his clients as his therapy.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, definitely bouncing off them.
Yeah. Well, they've been client and therapist for a very long time, so they've become like friends really, and they annoy each other like friends do. So I'm not sure that he's the world's greatest therapist, but he's not a bad guy.
It's also kind of one of the hardest roles in the film in a way, because there's a real danger that the audience would sort of check out if they didn't buy into it. So when we found you and you found us, in a way, it became one of the most important pieces in the puzzle.
This film is an ode to your mother, to your lovely mother, but it's also an ode to carers. I have to say, for the unsung heroes of our society who save our government billions every single year, who go through so much. Like, it's such a beautiful thing that you say about carers, including the three that just need a break. and James McArdle, who's like thinking about his brother Alex, who's in London, going, oh my God, I do everything for you and you don't care. Was that an interesting thing to portray on screen? You know, loving someone so much, but also being frustrated at the circumstances you find yourself in.
Definitely. I mean, you have this horrible thing that happens when you're a carer, where you're kind of, you're doing everything for somebody else and watching them diminish and stuff like that. But then you've also all these selfish impulses of what about me, and nobody's, no one's worried about me in this situation, and which is crazy, but you can't help but feel it. So. We never really talked about it when we started writing the script. It just all flowed from memory. So it was not like we sat down and said, let's write a story about what it's like to be a carer or what it's like to need care. It was just a case of all of this stuff was so fresh and raw for us that we wanted to do something with it, because we didn't, it was floating around our heads.
It's a very universal experience. I think most people end up caring at some point. Yeah. And it's not one you often see portrayed on screen.
No.
And not with humour either.
And one that it's important to show the carers, while they're very caring and attentive of those they're caring for, have to have a bit of a life and a bit of a release as well. It's good to get that across.
Because there is one scene where, my God, do you have a release, Rory? You're wearing leather strap. You are like kidding.
No, here's the funny thing. Originally, they didn't say, you never saw my character off at Las Palomas Pride.
Yeah.
And after shooting it finished, he called up and said, we're looking at it now, we really think we need to see. And he was suggesting maybe we could try and fake it in Dublin somehow, make it fake.
You do own Panty Bar.
And I just happened to mention in passing that, I'm actually going to Tenerife with me fella. So he just gives me like a little phone,
list of
camera,
things to
thing,
get.
and a list of suggested things that I could film. So I'm literally out there on my holidays, filming on my own those scenes, pretending to be at
Wearing
Las
the
Palomas
same
Pride.
outfit that you would have been wearing anyway.
Well, I brought the sexy clothes with me, especially for it. And at one stage, he wanted me to look like maybe I'd taken some mood-enhancing supplements outside a nightclub. And the night I went out, it was like the last night, and it was Monday, and it turns out that even in Tenerife on Monday, things don't open. So I ended up sitting outside a supermarket that had a flashing sign, trying to shoot it so it looked like it might be the disco lights.
No way.
They didn't use that one, but they used some other
What
stuff.
you do for your art.
Well done.
It's so good. It's so good.
It's out this Friday, but you've already won an award at the London Film Festival. That's amazing.
Yeah, it was a great screening over there. So it was, we waited for a year for the film to land in the right festival, and then London was just an incredible experience, and the audience were brilliant and really enjoyed it. So we were really, really pleased.
It's so good. Before we let you go, are you running for the presidency? Every time you're in, we have to ask you.
Every 7 years this happens now. No,
yeah.
I'm not, because, I'd be much too fabulous. I'd be good value for money, though, wouldn't I?
Oh, my God.
I could get two for the price of one, and I'd be great at the speeches part.
Such good value.
To Lanzarote.
You have dogs. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
Listen, this film is wonderful. After the success with A Date with Mad Mary, it's amazing to see what yourself and Colin can do. It's in the cinema this weekend. Please do spend your money and go and see it. It's called Four Mothers. Rory O'Neill, who does everyone's therapist now in this, and Darren Thornton, director and co-writer. Thank you for joining us. Thanks a million.
Thank you.
Brilliant.